Okay, today we're just going to do an update video of my trees here at the beginning of fall, end of summer. This first one we have here is a new Cotoneaster I've bought. It has really small, see if I'll show you, it has like really small leaves on it. It's much smaller than my other one's leaves. And if you see in there, I cleaned what I didn't want out of there, and it's put a lot of new growth in the center. I didn't want to really work on it much this year. I just wanted to clear some of it out and get it a little more manageable for storage this winter, and just get rid of what I didn't want. I knew I didn't want. I still have something that might be, there's a branch back there that crosses over the one branch I probably have to get rid of. But that's the new, this is going to be like a clump style one, unlike my other one that's a cascade. Over here we have some various cuttings I've done. One back there, I think that's a dogwood cutting in the back. These are some Zachovia cuttings. At least I think, I'm pretty sure that the trees on those trees are Zachovias. I think I may have a couple that took. I have to check them. And then here we have my my Kingsville boxwoods. I keep them in the shade. They've grown. This is the new one I got at the beginning of the year. And then these are the three I had the six I had last year. These three are in a group, and then these three are separate. I've just let them grow all this year. Didn't really touch them because we clipped them back good last year, and they don't grow too fast, so there's no reason to, like, I don't think there's any reason to go, you know, clip them necessarily every year. They didn't really need it. I mean, they're a little out of shape now, but next year should be good to get them for that. Over here we have my two U's. This is the one I collected from my yard, and then that's the one I collected last spring that I've been doing some work on. All I've done work on is I did a little bit of wiring of some pieces that are alive to just put them in a better position, and then I've done some work on the deadwood. So there are those. Here are the trees on my back bench. As you can see, the back benches and the front benches, I changed them and put the back half of them up higher than the front. So it made them easier to really use. I actually got more trees on these split than I did one whole thing, so that worked out nicely. First one we're going to show you is my maple and larch forest. As you can see, these things have grown quite a bit. Some of them have put close to a foot on over the year, and that's what I just wanted to let them grow and get the roots growing in there. I have more coming. I've ordered more for next spring when I'll repot this, hopefully probably into a bonsai pot I bought for it. It's like 22 inches wide. It's a nice, it's really nice pot. I'm thinking about changing the Japanese maples, which you can see are starting to change, over to red maples, North American red maples. I've got a lot of them now that I've gotten off the trees that are in our front yard. So I think I'm going to try those instead of the Japanese maple, and then they'll be the right tree to go with there. I have a bunch. We'll just take those out and do something else with them next year. We have the maple I can't pronounce. Put the name on there. We have some more Japanese maples here. This is a group of them that I bought. They're a variety of trees. I don't know what all of them are, but they're all Japanese maples. I just don't know what kind. I think this one in the back here of these two, I think that's just a plain green. And then that is I think that's the fall gold, one of the fall gold ones. I think this one over here is a fall gold too. That I think is a green. These little ones are various, there's some cuttings I took of Japanese maples. There's a couple of just North American red maples in the back. There's some green maples here in this pot here. And then this is that grouping I made of various things that I got to add some more trees to next year. I want it big. I think I have a better pot for it too that I'm going to put it in. Up here we have my single larch, which I had chopped back finally this year, which it did all right. Would have liked the new leader to take off a little more, but it didn't take off as much as I'd hope, but it's doing good. It's starting to change. This one's changing a little sooner, it looks like, than the ones in the group. Some of them have where they're changing, but most of them are not yet. This is my Korean hornbeam, which that is starting to change. You can see right there. I don't know if the wire, I don't think the wire dug into this. But I'm going to probably do this fall, I'm going to do some trees, wire some trees up that I want to wire up. Because fall is a good time to wire a tree up and leave it sit over the winter. Because it's not going to grow outside, so they're going to go dormant. You don't have to worry about the wire digging in, and they can stay longer. These are 3 Atlas cedars. I'm going to make them into a group cutting probably this spring, coming spring. I got a lot of stuff I have to repot this spring. So we'll see what we do here. Here are all my Zachovias. They're doing right there. There's 4 pots. They're my Zachovias. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they're Zachovias from what I know of looking at the leaves and stuff. Yeah, they're doing good. I have to start doing some. I might make a Zachovia forest. I may make a forest because I have a few more maybe that came about. So this is my oak. My oak leaves, when I got them, it didn't look good. Now they're getting ready. This one came off in my hand. They're starting to change. The oak looks good other than that. It's just small and needs some growth in further years. This is the I think it's called Indian Magic. It's a crabapple that I bought. I also have one I didn't show you up front. I have like a root cutting. It was sprouted up from the roots, and I pulled it out, and it seems to be doing good. So if it survives the winter, I'll have it. This is a cascading maple. Japanese maple I'm trying to work on. It's coming along pretty decent. We'll just leave that. We're leaving most things to the end of the winter here. These are my privets. They're doing good. This is the maple that I did an emergency repot on, and if you look, it's doing just fine. So hopefully it should be just fine. It's like looks way better than it did when I got it. There's a few old leaves that are still on it here, like here, that they look like they have a little fungus issue on them, but I'm not going to worry about them now. They're probably all right. They're going to fall off in another month. Within the next month, they're going to all fall off, so it's going to be a problem. but it's looking really good now. So that hopefully going to be a good tree eventually. This is the other cotoneaster. As you can see, it's budded out a little since I cut it back maybe a month ago. Not going to touch that. Just going to let that go dormant. This one will lose its leaves. I know this one loses its leaves. I don't know the new one will lose its leaves or not, because some cotoneasters are evergreen, some are deciduous. Depends on the variety, from what I've understood. This is my cherry back here. This I'm happy with because I chopped it back maybe 2 months ago, month and a half ago, and it just budded right out again. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was looking bad, it was just leggy. It was really leggy and it didn't have the most leaves on it, so I cut it back to get some more, get it to bud out. Here are my 3 Bougainvillea. I don't know why some of them have, they probably just got damaged somehow. It might have been the cold. They might not have wanted to, I don't know, it's only a few leaves on this one and a few on that, so it might have just been damage from something. It might not have been the cold. I don't know if it was the cold or not. None of my other tropicals seemed to be hurt by the cold. We had we were down to the around 40, which I'm still all right usually with, as long as that's just going to be low, and then it got up into the 60s in the day, so it wasn't like it was getting cold yet. It was just a little cold at night, and I don't seem to have any problem with the things. I think that's something else that's bothered a couple of those leaves. But they'll be coming in pretty soon, probably. Another couple weeks, they'll be coming in with the things. This is sad. I bought a black pine, but for some reason my black pine died. Wasn't a very expensive one, so it wasn't a big deal. I think I got it for $6 or $7. It was just a little starter. But it didn't survive. It just died on me. I don't know why. That is a pomegranate. That's still doing good. These are my 3 other boxwoods. They're more common, more common ones that you'd find at a nursery or something, regular nursery. Here we have some more maples. I think all three of these maples here are tridents, and then these are 2 weeping willows that I haven't decided what to do with yet. This is this dogwood that I'm making a cluster out of. It's just been growing all summer. So it's been changing the last couple weeks, a lot of the leaves. And then here's the redwood that we chopped earlier this year. Put out a lot of stuff here when I chopped it, and then it's been putting out new branches at these. It put out a lot of new branches, so if they stay healthy, it would be good. But I lost another branch, as you can see here. This branch has a little bit of dieback on it, and we did lose this little branch here. But like I said, that it's kind of a habit of these. They lose older branches. I don't know if they do it their entire life or just new, but more lower branches tend to. But like you can see, this one just sprouted out all kinds of new branches too. So I just haven't got a chance to cut the old branches off yet, the dead branches off, but I'll do that before I put it away for the winter. Here's the front benches. We have everything going here. I'll start going through them and showing you what's going on here. Here is my single Trident Maple. It's doing good. It looks like it's thickened up some more, and then it grew, the new leader grew all the way up. It's kind of in this other bush that, and it grew all the way up to the awning, the little awning I made for the stuff. If you look up there, it might be hard to see in there. Hopefully I can get this started growing. Maybe we'll see what it looks like. This is going to be another one that needs to be repotted in the spring. This hasn't been repotted for a couple years, and I'd like to work on the roots, and it looks like it'll have a good root base from what I'm seeing here so far. Here is one of my small dawn redwoods. They are starting to change colors. They will probably be some of the first ones to lose their foliage. There's one back there, and then right in the back there, Champaku Juniper got stuck back there. Here are the things that I usually sit in a tub of water. The weeping willows, the dragon claw willow, the wisteria back there, and that's just growing again. I've cut it off once this year, and it's coming out to watch that it doesn't. I think it's wrapped on itself now, so that's good. Last time it wrapped onto the dawn redwood. That one's doing good. Just, it's like I said, it's done pretty much, and this one has more color to it than the other one. It's turning brown. It's changing. They turn a nice. I think it's a nice brown. It's like a little bit of a reddish brown when they turn. As you can see on these. We have, this is the juniper that I'm trying to grow like a juniper I had years ago, similar to it. This is my Ficus. It's lost a few of the older leaves. I think it's just, I'm hoping it's just that they're older leaves and they're losing them. Because the rest of the leaves look good. It's just a few of the older leaves have gone yellow on it. This is the Dwarf Honeysuckle I have. It's in a little tiny pot. It's doing good. We did have a little bit of issue with it getting too wet, but I've adjusted the watering so it wasn't staying as wet as long. This is the candy apple, crab apple. Here, this has done good this year. I pretty much kept, well, it had some before and it lost some of its leaves and put out new leaves. But it's in much healthier state than last year. Last year I had trouble with rust. Rust was a problem for it last year. Here's the Cascading Juniper that we clipped earlier this summer. It's come back pretty good. It should be really good by beginning of next summer. It'll really pop out again. This is my Azalea. It had a little bit of, I think maybe fungus or something on some of its leaves, but you can see the newer leaves came in pretty good. The sky flower, which is doing pretty good, that'll be coming in pretty soon. And it is new, whatchamacallit, I think it's finally getting firm in that pot. Back there is a red maple that I got I think that's the oldest one I have. I think that was one that I found in with something. This I took out of a pot this spring and planted it in its own pot. And I've done that over the summer with a few that I found in other pots that grew up this year, or I found somewhere, you know, I found them. There's the little Cascading Juniper. It's slowly coming back. I mean, it's coming back. It's just we really clipped that one back, so that one's taking a little while to come back. This is a Rosemary I'm working on that's just kind of back here for now. It's kind of just sitting there, growing. That'll be coming in. And I think it's got a little, yeah, it's got a little maple growing in it. This will be coming in pretty soon. The willow-leafed ficus, which it's doing fine. It's been doing fine over the summer. It grew out nicely. There is my Sarissa. It had just been, it's got a couple flowers on it. It's been flowering like the last month or so. There is a cutting of a skyflower cutting back there. Here's a bunch of red maples, seedlings. We'll see what comes of them next year. We'll see how those do. This I never did get around to working on. This is the Nana Percummins Juniper, but you can see I have a lot of stuff that at the beginning of the year came out that I can probably work with next year. I'm not worried that I didn't get around to working. I would have liked to at least cleaned the top up some, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Here's what's going to become a clump style. I grew them purposely a little far apart so they'll grow together, and eventually it'll look like a clump. The clump I want. I don't want the trees real close in my clump, so I grew them purposely apart, and then I'm going to thicken them up over the years of growing, and they're doing pretty good. This is that new Japanese maple I got. It don't look like it's changed any color yet at all, so we'll work on that. That has to be repotted next year. There is the Jacqueline Hillier elm. It's doing good, except for right in here, there's a few leaves that just got, I don't know, somehow damaged. Too much light, not enough water. I don't know. They just, something might have attacked them. They might have a little fungus. I don't know. There's something wrong with them. But other than that, the thing's perfectly healthy. So it's just a little damaged leaves. This is a hibiscus I'm working on. It had just had a flower on it. The petals fell off. There's my rose. And back there are my Portula cariafora. They're kind of behind the Chinese elms. And then the Chinese elms are up here doing good. This one's recovering from losing a lot of its cascade earlier in the year. And that one's changing a little. This one will probably be changing. These, I'm going to treat them again. I'm going to bring them in, but I'm going to leave them out as long as I can this year. I'm thinking I don't want to let them go below probably about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Probably about around the time I want to bring them in. But I want to let them go dormant, at least have some kind of dormancy like I did last year. And then if they come out of dormancy, when they come out of dormancy, they'll be inside. Because I don't know if I don't think they'll survive my winters, if some of my coldest. This is the Norway Spruce I had that I'm working on trying to see if I can get it to be a raft style. Still alive, it's looking fine, so we'll just put it away for the winter, and we'll work on that. And I think that is it. Yeah, that's it. That is my whole collection right now. I do have one new tree I got at a online auction I check out. I've been looking for the right tree to do a literati, and I'm going to do it with a flowering cherry. It's got pink flowers, unlike my other one, which has white ones. So when I get that, I'll probably film it and show it. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you next time.